Lowly Starts here. I didn't do one for a couple of days because I was with family and I didn't really want to do one. I tried to do one while I was on my break with my family, but it didn't really come out very well. So I basically am waiting until right now to do it. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about what classes I've taken for my first year and what I'm going to take in my second year. And yeah, so basically last year, my first year, I took anatomy, embryology, histology, biochemistry, integration, basic clinical 1, and biomedical information 1, and public health and mental health. Anatomy is basically tells you what parts of the body is in your body. Histology is also known as microscopic anatomy. Histology explains what is inside microscopically inside your body. Like in histology, for example, I'm going to say it in Spanish, corpúsculo renal, or the corpusculate renal corpusculate, or basically the parts that are inside your kidneys, like the cortex and the medulla, or the inside. And anatomy talks about the outer part, like what you could see, such as the spinal cord, or basically your hands, just to be like what goes on in your hands, the nerves, the veins, arteries, yeah. Embryology studies your development, the development of the parts in your body. Basically, it's developmental anatomy. Like how the placement of your kidneys, your kidneys have to move. What genes cause that movement, or the genes that cause your body to become a boy. Because actually, naturally, your body wants to be a female, not a male. It basically gets hijacked. It basically gets like a hacker into your computer. The gene is like the hacker to the system. That's what embryology does. It goes into more detail of how it develops the way it does. What do you lose? What do you gain? Like, to be a female, I actually lose a temporary renal system. But in males, they do not. It loses the renal function, but becomes part of the reproductive of a male. But I'm a female, so I lose it. And yeah, that's embryology, one of the stuff they do. Integration is basically like a blending of what you learn, but like in a more clinical aspect. Like you need to know the normal ratio of blood pressure, of triglycerides. It's basically kind of like extension of all your classes. Biochemistry is the class that you understand how nutrition is basically like your nutrition class. It basically explains how your body metabolizes food. how, like, what chemicals are happen. Like, you find out the normal range of what is appropriate for the body, what is healthy. Like keratin. Keratin is one of the things that you use for understanding your kidneys. Or like triglycerides. Triglycerides are a very big indicator of how those babies are doing. Because if those are not functioning right, that is really, really bad. It also explains how, like, defects of metabolization, such as diabetes, a really, really big one that we talked about in biochemistry, or genetic defects like anemias. Type of anemias are actually genetic. In mental health, we talked about how a doctor has to mentally handle themselves and handle patients. Yeah. Like, and understand like the conditions that happen in the brain, like schizophrenia, addictions. Like, how can we treat and how can we handle people that are suffering and through those conditions and help them be supported. Public health also goes into that as well. Like, it goes more in how health has to be bonded to the local. For me, it actually is kind of like a refresher of something I've actually learned. But I kind of like that. Like, it's an extension of what I've learned. In that I've actually have a degree in anthropology. I have when I got it from San Francisco State in 2015. And it helped me understand that health you have to understand the problems with health. Like, the access, that sometimes the culture that you're dealing with. Because some conditions like some treatments that you might think are okay, might actually have a historical insult. And the legality of health. Like, how do we respect health? Such as in anatomy. In anatomy, I will never show pictures. Like, maybe histology, I might show pictures. Like, I can do, but anatomy, I cannot. Legally, I do not want to do it. And actually, I do not want to ruin my career as a doctor. My teacher said that if it gets into, like, Facebook or stuff, I can get legally arrested and debarged. And I also heard from when I was in San Francisco State as an anthropology student that actually an anatomy student, it actually went to Facebook and actually got expelled for that. So, and I understand, it's a respect. You have to respect your patients. And I get that. I respect that completely. That is total regard. Like, medicine is not easy, but medicine is a big deal of respect. Because you're putting the safety of a person, their faith in you. And I agree with that. You need to it's big time respect. It's difficult. Medicine is not easy, but it's a big game of respect. Big game. Like, I had friends who left because they couldn't handle it. It's not easy. And it's just my first year. Thank you. Bye.